All right,
All right.
guys. Tonight we
So,
are doing the podcast. We have the regular original three Migos here. So there you go. What's up, Colin? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
I have new
Thank you very
buttons
much.
on my thing, and then we have Corey over here.
Hello.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. It's going to
So,
make a lot of us smile.
do you have buttons on your control panel?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I
tonight's
do.
topic, we're going to talk a little bit about the campaign, and I'm trying not to be distracted by my little keyboard here. Yeah, we'll see if that works.
Yeah, it's not working so far. So things are good and moving forward. Got palm cards. Is that the correct term, Colin?
You got
Yes. I got the palm
What-
cards. They are the ones that have my face and all that kind of stuff. Got logo. I have how to contact and also a QR code so you can donate. So I have those coming next week. Also, I have door hangers. They're coming next week too. And I'm excited
those
about
are the
them.
things you put on the
Doors?
by our carpet service kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But this is more for campaign, saying who I am and why I'm running and how to help me do this thing. So that's on its way using Canva. And also I am going to be upgrading the web page. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And my campaign manager has been continuing to work with me, Michelle. She's amazing. I also went through a training on how to use this campaign app where it tells you where all of the individuals are, Republican, Independent, Democrat, all the above, and how to do the phone calls and the door knocking and all that good stuff. Took that training yesterday. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, Party, for doing that, for setting that up. And they have another one this coming Monday. So, and then they're going to have one every Monday for volunteers so they know how to use the app and can run it and do well with it. And
You getting that app that comes on the phone where you can
Yeah.
actually like go campaigning and stuff?
Yeah, this is Pulsar. It's the newest upgraded one. I was like, okay, cool. Don't know what the other one was like. So Cody does. Cody liked the other one. Yeah.
It was interesting because you could actually you could pick your phone up on that and push a button and it would dial the people, and you could talk on your regular phone, but it'd come up as a campaign phone number.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Monday I'll be getting a map of my area. So I'll be taking a look at that and finding out precincts and all that kind of stuff. And I'm excited. This is pretty cool. And been talking to the other people that are running for the district that's next door to me, and we're helping each other, trying to problem solve some great things. And so it's been fun. I've never done this before, and so it's all a learning experience for me. And I've door knocked before, but this is much better because I get to help my district this time. Knock on doors and say, "Hey, I'm Corey. I'm a fresh new start. I can help you guys. Let's do this together." Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to start door knocking on, I think it's the April 20th ish, and start doing those kind of things. And yeah, there's a lot of things coming up, and Michelle's helping me move forward. I was told what a campaign manager does. Now I'm starting to find out exactly what a campaign manager does. Amazing. And
Well, what's impressive is that you're, from what I've been reading and you've been telling me, and I've been talking to some people down here, you're way ahead of the other people, even down here. You're for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, you're really squared away.
Maybe it's my German nature. I don't know. I don't like to be behind. I've done that in my life, and I don't like that. So I continue to ask and ask and ask and seek, and ye shall find. And it's really hard to find.
You'll find something.
Yeah, some
Maybe
things I
not
didn't
what
want
you
to find.
think, but you'll find something.
Yeah, and I did. I was like, okay, and I found a lot of no's, a lot of closed doors. Yet, I just kept on asking and asking, and finally doors opened up. Michelle was one of those doors. She said no. The first time I met her at Leadership Institute about a month ago, she said no to me. I was like, this face? How can I say no to this face?
Hey, wait, hold on.
Did
Watch this.
pretty good.
Watch this. No. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. And then I met her again at another boot camp. And she said no again. Yeah. But she did finally say no and say yes. And she, I can see why people want this person to work on their campaign and help them move forward, because she's great at it.
I like the analogy that when we talked to Jason, he was saying that having being your own campaign manager is like having a lawyer, where you're your own lawyer in a trial court.
Mm-hmm.
But it's you have a client for a fool. I thought that was a pretty accurate description.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I got to meet some more people pretty soon. The next couple of weeks, I get to meet up with. Hopefully, I'm going to meet up with Legacy Church pastor and those people, and they should give me a good boost. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Now, how similar is this to yours, Colin?
Way more successful already.
Already?
So, oh yeah. No, Corey's an excellent candidate. I mean, I didn't foresee anything with this. I didn't know how it would go. It depends on the individual, but just based on, I mean, Corey is you're literally, your entire life is about bridging the gap between people. Like, that's your entire call of service. And you're doing this out of the spirit of service. I mean, if God isn't going to bless you in this endeavor, then I don't know who he will. So, like, that was kind of, it's not a shock to know that you're doing well.
Corey, you need to rethink your whole life.
Right. Yes. So I was kind of like sitting back going, but no, it is fun. It is a fun experience because it's so interesting and new. You meet people you never thought you'd meet. You start making connections in your mind. You start building a mental map of how this stuff actually works.
Yeah.
And how shallow it actually really is something that kind of shocked me. You always think there's like deep set plans and there's that, but really at the local level, it's mostly personalities and egos that drive the whole thing. And that's the fuel that feeds the fire.
Yeah.
And it just keeps feeding people through that churn over and over again. So to be a stalwart individual, steadying themselves, aiming at doing it for the right reasons, not to get ahead, not for some grandiose self-aggrandizement deal where they need to make themselves feel better about themselves. It's there's very few people in this country or in the world that are willing to do that. So congratulations, Corey. It's very impressive.
And I've learned in my past that if I do stuff just for my own benefit and that kind of stuff, it usually fails.
Never.
I don't know
you
about
get
you
what
guys.
you think you want, and then you're even 10 times more miserable at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
There's that.
Yeah. How to Grow Rich book. It talked about
Think and Grow Rich. Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich. How to work with other people. And so as you're being lifted up, you're also lifting up other people to make their lives better. And I love that concept. jives with me. It connects with me. And I like doing that in life. And so whenever I'm looking at opportunities and stuff, I'm like, who can I bring along with this? How can I help others? Because, yeah, when you do that, you are able to go further. And then also you get to bring people along with you. Right. And then you're like, hey, this is cool. And you have people that we celebrate each other as we succeed and stuff. I like that. That's, I think that's the way I'm built. Not a lot of other people, but that's the way I'm built.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to be the narcissist, but it's not working. Yeah.
I got some
it's not
people
all
you could
about
talk
me.
to. We could definitely line that all up.
You know quite a few people.
I wish I was a narcissist. Like, it would be a lot easier. But
I don't know.
I'm actually
Well,
not.
no,
I'm
you're
just
not,
depressed.
Yeah, you're not.
It's so boring.
You know, admitting you have a problem is one step closer towards recovery.
I'm actually doing a lot better in that regard. It's
right on.
It's coming around. I actually don't feel depressed anymore. I would say like I did. Now I definitely feel like I don't. I don't know what happened, but I feel like I took a turn. It's like you got to decide to grow up at a certain point and realize you're just self-flagellating for your own sick. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's an actual term.
Like you're just beating yourself over the back to make yourself, because you're just in the habit of it, and I just got tired of it after a while. So then I stopped, and I'm like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I need to calm down. It's okay.
Well,
not everything's fine, but it's fine here. I'm okay here. Everything's okay. I got my kids, got my wife, got a house.
You know what today is,
job.
Though? Today is the anniversary of the first time we tried to record a podcast. Is part of the reason I wanted.
Wow, great progress.
We didn't put our first podcast out until the 28th of April, but we did shoot two or three of them.
Well, the therapy has worked, gentlemen. So I need a come on, Cody. Come on.
Where's?
Awesome.
Thank you. Whatever. Fine. There we go.
Kind of delayed, let down.
Thank you.
Come on, Cody.
Yes, thank you.
Be on top of this. Yeah, but that's a pretty cool thing that it's been a year. How do we celebrate that?
Check this. Here, I could show you the part of the first recording if you want.
Yeah, and then today is my toy Australian Shepherd's birthday. Yeah, she was born in 2019, so she's 8 years old.
Here's Colin.
Shoot. Yeah, you both look younger. A whole year ago.
All right, guys. Me and my
here's Colin.
Cousin, Colin are here tonight.
Man, I've lost a lot of weight.
We've been talking on the phone.
I gained a lot.
Yeah, and you put hair on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went away from that Three Monkeys look there, man.
I was scaring my kids.
Did it work?
Actually, yeah, it did. Like, you look nicer, Dada. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what's going on in the world that you guys want to talk about tonight that piqued your interest?
I can't. Did you see that thing I sent this morning about the ending ties with Britain? They didn't. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Ending ties with Britain.
That we were ending intel sharing with MI6 and all them, because I have not been able to pin down when that happened. That did happen. That was reported, but I'm not sure exactly when that happened. I get competing narratives on that one. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
When we stopped intel sharing with Five Eyes? Is that what you're saying? Or
I can't get this to open, but they were talking about them not letting the King of England come in.
Wait, what? He's coming. I mean, Trump's made such a big deal out of it. He'll make it happen. I mean, that's happening. So
no, Trump supposedly came up and said that they're not going to they canceled the visit.
What?
That's what I was reading.
Hang on. I don't know about that.
I think that would have been. I've been scanning Twitter like for the last hour. I haven't seen anything that would have popped up. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's true, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. There's something happening, big time, if that happens. So scanning and scanning, nothing.
Everyone, I have never seen this kind of. We were talking about this with Tom Luongo, but the amount of conservative crash out on the internet about this whole thing is unbelievable. It's really made me look at everybody and go, is everyone like the amount of people that are like able to see beyond the events that are reported on MSNBC or Fox News are very few.
Yeah.
Even the conspiracy theory type people that you like, Alex Jones, he's freaked. He was like, emergency alert. We're about to go into nuclear war. You better strap your heads on, boys and girls. Like, you're about to ride the lightning. Like, it's just fear all over the place. And if they were more calculated and collected, but even guys like Martin Armstrong are like, no, this is going to end in a disaster. This war isn't going to end for another year. All this other stuff. I don't know.
And then if it goes on too long, then oil will pretty much be too high.
26% in the last few hours.
Famine, all kinds of stuff.
No,
yeah.
have you seen the oil Brent crude? It's crashed 26% in the last couple hours.
No,
it's
I
down
didn't
to
know
96
that.
a barrel.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, it's good for us. I mean, it's cheap energy.
Cheaper. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that is one of the biggest moves in petroleum in a very long. I mean, it just went, just shot down. Yep.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Look at that.
It was at
100?
620. It was at $108 a barrel, and now it's at $96 a barrel.
Which we got to remember like how high oil used to get when we had these crises. I mean, we got close to $200 a barrel once upon a time. It was like 180, I think, in the Bush era.
That's high.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid, it was like $7 gas. When I was a kid, like
I don't remember
15, 16 years ago. Anyway, but it was a very brief moment. It wasn't very long, but it freaked everyone out.
Oh. The highest it's ever gotten was $147 a barrel.
Was it only that? Okay.
July of.
I thought it was way higher than that. Interesting. Okay.
Oh wait. No. My bad. Yeah, if it was adjusted for inflation.
Oh. Okay.
It would be $211 a barrel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's probably why. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as this whole conflict ends, it's going to be a combination of Iran and China that end up taking over the straits and just permanently make it their quadrant to manage, in my opinion. I mean, that's the natural. I mean, Europe can't enforce it. We're not going to enforce it. And the only reason that I can think of why we would have these military actions is because there's a security force in Iran that's not willing to let go of the current paradigm, which allows the British to run insurance over that entire strait, which is it just racks in money. Every ship that goes by, million, just boom, 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 boom. They don't even have to do anything. It's just printing money. And they've had that for over 100 years, and now that just ended.
Oh, the toll for going through there, they have to stop and give them
But the IRGC, because people are like, well, they're Iranians. It's like, well, where does their money come from? It comes from that. And they're not happy about having their paychecks cut off. Certain factions in there that have made their bets. So to me, that is the most likely explanation for what like this makes this all make sense instead, because the only other alternative is that Trump's now a warmonger and he just wants to kill people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if that beggars belief. That just isn't, that's not what we've seen.
No, definitely not.
If it was Bush or Obama or anyone else, I'd be like, probably because they're puppets anyway, you know, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know of a lot of credible people that are willing to put that out there and say that's what's happening. Everybody in conservative media is going against this and freaking out.
Oh, over Trump doing what he's doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with you being anti-war and not doing and having that opinion. That's not the problem. The weirdness about it is they're not willing to look a layer deeper. Like, we've been talking about London, about British influence, and how we're basically, and this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's the old power paradigm that's existed for hundreds of years. These things don't die overnight. And just because you weren't taught about it in 6th grade doesn't mean it isn't real. Like, and that's just like everyone's operating off of 6th grade history lessons. And that's like our common touchstone between like of what is real and what isn't. That and Ken Burns documentaries.
Ken Burns, he was great.
Which I love Ken Burns documentaries, by the way. I do. The Civil War documentary series is amazing. My favorite.
Yeah.
Love it.
His how he switches frames is the Ken Burns effect. Yeah. So
it makes me cry every time. I love that.
Yeah, he's legend.
Documentary series.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if China put more emphasis in there for their own, because they need the oil big time. And I'm surprised they haven't sent more ships in there and just kind of said, you know what, we're backing Trump's play. We're done.
Well, they backed it by not doing anything.
What I thought was interesting was Trump was either today or yesterday was calling out everyone who turned their back on us. He called out NATO.
He just killed NATO. He just exposed NATO for like that. You just literally steal our money and don't do anything.
And when we ask for assistance, you're like, no.
Yeah. I mean, this was like the major choke point for energy in the world as far as Europe and Asia are concerned. The primary choke point, and no one shows up to the party. Even send a little patrol boat or something, like a little gesture. Nothing.
Send something.
Well, they wait till everything's safe and then they send the British.
Well, it was masterfully done because he knew that they can't do anything. They're not like, people don't understand. They cannot mobilize. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the logistics. They don't have supply chain set up. Their equipment's all breaking down.
That's why we're in there. We are their supply chain. We are their logistics.
And he's making that point that we are the security guarantee for the world, and we're not going to be the security guarantee. This is ending NATO. This is what he just killed NATO. It's over. It'll never recover from this. So it was a matter of time. It was going to die eventually, but this, I think, accelerated that timeline. And I'm not sure that the Europeans, and when I say the Europeans, I mean the banking elite, I'm not sure they saw this coming. I think they saw it as a possibility. But again, the thing with the Europeans, they always underestimate what America does. Like, we don't think like Europeans. We don't think like Asians. We don't think like, the closest people I think we think like are like the Russians. Like, we're very close to Russian thinking. We're very pragmatic. There's a degree of pragmatism because we had to conquer a West. We had to conquer a wilderness, and we had to just make stuff work in a pinch. Well, that's Russia. You know, they had the vast Siberian wilderness and cold and famine and every hardship you could ever imagine thrown their way to this.
And it's cold.
It's cold. And that makes you think. So
only the strong survive that stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I don't understand is after the Falklands War, you would think Britain would have learned that they have trouble mobilizing anything.
Oh, they mobilized well enough for that. That was back.
It took them. No, that was back in 1982. They still had a lot of Navy, and it took them the Falkland Islands were invaded in April, and it took them till what, the end of May, to get a task force down there to start defending the islands and take them back.
Yeah, but a part of that is, look, you can't, especially in those days. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to defend it. Yeah, maybe they were slow on the draw, or maybe it was like a last ditch decision. And I mean,
Well, it
even
was
for
Margaret
us, you can't
Thatcher.
just quickly mobilize. Well, the Falklands is something, there's a lot more to that story than people understand. And I am not comfortable enough to explain it right now, unfortunately, but it wasn't just a matter of sovereignty. There was like a power play going on there. And I think a bluff was called. I just don't understand who the other agent on the other side was.
Well, I know that Argentina didn't think that the United Kingdom was actually going to come down and take it back.
I just don't. Where did Argentina get the cojones to start picking fights with Great Britain?
Well, they had a dictator that had taken over the country, and he was trying to show that he had the huevos to go out and do it.
I get that's the story, but...
And then she had to show that she had huevos to fend them off. It's the story they're telling, but I've always wanted to look into that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a long time because I know there's way more to that story. I have not spent time to figure that out yet, but
what was interesting is the boat
list.
that the Argentinian Navy had was supplied by the United States, was given to them. So the British sunk a U.S. built destroyer or something during that whole thing, or was it a cruiser or something? That was the last time torpedoes were used in combat until this newest engagement. So,
do you remember me bringing up Chuck Grassley's Inquisition into Argentina?
No.
Senator Chuck Grassley. I did show you guys this, I think. Basically, he asked for here. He asked for Malay to basically disclose all documents associated with the Nazi rat lines and Credit Suisse, which you might have heard in the news in this last year. And their rat lines they set up to help Nazis escape and relocate into Argentina.
Okay.
That was, last year, February, that he put that out there. And I look forward to working with you on this issue. I would welcome the opportunity to discuss this investigation along with our shared commitment to such important matters during your next visit to the United States. Lastly, I'm copying President Trump on this letter because my investigative work is being done out of profound respect for the brave and courageous men and women of the United States Armed Forces who fought against Hitler and the Nazis and freed courageous Jewish people from those evils. A sentiment that he would most assuredly agree with. Basically, he's asking them to disclose all their archives of everything that took place and all the back channels and everything. Because I mean, it's been, and we've talked about this before. Tim Kennedy did that show, Nazi Hunters or whatever it was,
hunting Hitler,
hunting Hitler, and the show ended with him on that island off the coast of Argentina, and the government basically shut him down. That island is the place where a Nazi scientist went to go work on...
Oh, in the lake?
Yes.
Where they were building the nuclear power thing for Argentina?
Yes. The Nazi scientist that was working with the president of Argentina at the time, they put out a newspaper article, and he's basically said, I have discovered a way for basically conducting a nuclear reaction at a certain temperature. I'm probably misremembering exactly. Basically, he announced in this paper that was released in Argentina that he had figured out cold fusion, or a form of cold fusion.
That's a huge deal back in what, 19...
This would have been in the 50s. There's an operation called Starfish where if you look on the Wikipedia page, it wasn't just Starfish, but it was really called Operation Ripple, or it was Project Ripple. Ripple technology is what ended do you remember when they were launching, or you heard the story when they were launching nuclear bombs in the atmosphere to see what would happen, doing like stratospheric tests or atmospheric tests of what nuclear reactions would be like? They that project was called, there was Operation Fishbowl, there was Starfish. Starfish was a subcomponent of Fishbowl. Ripple was
that
a
was
project.
Dr. Richards that was doing that experiment.
I'm probably, I don't remember, but probably if you're looking that up, yeah. I don't remember the name of the guy who ran point on the whole thing, because there were like 3 or 5 different projects involving that same kind of thing, that domain, that I'm not really totally aware of who was who. But one of the last tests they had was the Ripple technology test, and they were measuring the radiation secondary release post explosion through all the other tests. That Ripple test landed at 0.1 fallout, while the rest were in the 20, 30, 40, 50, 70% fallout. Basically 0 nuclear fallout. Now, how do you do that without exploding? If you're exploding a plutonium bomb, because that's the primer for a hydrogen bomb, how the hell do you make it so that doesn't have any radiological fallout, that doesn't cascade through the elemental stream, that reaction? What if there is a way to create a continuity stream of energy, almost in a cycle,
Little Island,
and then creating the containment effect that created the conditions necessary for the explosion at the right moment, instead of having to start a primary ignition sequence with a bomb, like a primer? Because basically, for people that, like, I'm all over the place, but hydrogen bombs work by having a plutonium fission device. Basically, the bomb that went over Hiroshima, that's the primer for a hydrogen bomb. That's what sets off a hydrogen bomb, is the bomb that blew up Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So basically what they're saying, and this is on Wikipedia, and this is out there in the open, that they had clean nuclear weapons back then. Now, you might remember Neil deGrasse Tyson going around the last few years talking about how nuclear weapons are clean all of a sudden. No explanation why. Just saying, it's like, well, we actually know how to set off nuclear weapons, and it's actually clean. This is back when the Ukrainian war was kicking off.
I've read up about that.
Yeah, but no one knows exactly how it works.
Well, basically, when you have an airburst over Japan, it doesn't. That's the reason they're able to live there after blowing the town to smithereens. There's 2 cities in Japan that both got nuked, and they're able to live in there without huge high radiation.
Well, I think actually nuclear fallout is, first off, I don't think it's as big of an issue as they led on to, like, they made it out to be. I think it actually dissipates pretty quickly, but there is a difference between a hydrogen bomb and a nuclear atomic bomb. Big difference. And I don't know, because they've lied so much about all their science, and the way they even think about it is wrong. So I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to worry about with nuclear weapons. Who knows? But in the public consciousness, there's a lot to worry about, right? So people have that in their mind that, it's besides the point. The point is that there's newspaper articles of Nazi scientists running basically announcing that they had perfected cold fusion reactions in plants down in Argentina. And the Argentinian president, he made it a political statement. He's like, we're going to be a nuclear power. We're going to have free energy for everybody. It's going to be a utopia down here. And then the United States came in and squashed that real quick. And then he got ousted literally a few years later. Yeah. So,
well, after he did that, they came in and blew that. The Argentinian military blew that facility up.
Yeah. And Tim Kennedy, when his show ended on that island, they ended it because. Island, though. Oh, I thought you told me it did. I haven't watched it.
No, that was in the second season. They were
kicked out of it, right? They weren't allowed to go there.
I don't remember. They went to the island. They actually went on that island.
Oh, okay.
So could you imagine having cold fusion today powering everything?
The weird thing about cold fusion is I'm not even sure
that it can do what they say they can do.
There's the facility.
I'm not sold that it's feasible to make a contained sun on the earth. I just don't. The more and more I learn about the sun, the more I just go, it's not its proper place. I don't know how we could do that, because the sun is a node in a giant system. It's not a unitary power device. Like there's these spindles spinning off of electromagnetic energy going off the poles of every planet that interlink itself with other systems throughout the galaxy. And it seems that the whole system like perpetuates energy between itself. Like it's a shared energy loop almost. It's not that everything's contained in stasis modules. It's that, there's flux points where you got when you got the weld and the art, you got that, the ball of light where where everything's taking place. But you got the rod, you got the current, you got the ground, and you got a negative and a positive polarity between the lead of the weld that have to all exist for that moment to occur. Well, that's how everything works, in my opinion. That's what it seems to be. You can't just operate in a field of nothing and be self-contained. That is not how the human body works. That's not how anything in our lived reality works. And now they're seeing these jets shooting off into space, connecting directly to other stellar systems. And
here's that
they're
project.
acting, or the science that go ahead.
There's the project, what it was called that they did on the island.
Yeah. What was the name of the guy?
Ronald Richter.
Ronald Richter. Richter. Yep.
Isn't there a Richter scale?
Might be the same guy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, post-Operation Paperclip, our entire method of science, of how we thought about science, just seemed to change. It's like we got sucked into a separate tech tree. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories about this, but I'm not into the conspiracy theories. I mean, I'll listen to them, but I think there's a real paper trail here. And Senator Grassley putting that missive out there publicly, to me, it's a bit of a tell. And, Donald Trump himself says it often. Uncle John, his MIT professor, Uncle John. Oh, how powerful nuclear energy is. We don't even understand. We have things that you never even would have thought of.
Charles Richter invented the Richter scale. Sorry.
Okay. No, still a German. So leave it to the Germans.
Just to answer this,
But that's crazy that the Germans were able to be so far ahead of everybody else? And how did they get to that point? And what was their push? What was giving to them so that they can push down this road further than everyone else, faster, harder?
So I have suspicions, but I'm not. But this could be so easily misunderstood if people aren't really paying attention. Hitler and the elite, or the scientific elite of the Nazi program, always
He was
said
actually an American.
we're breaking away. Well, yeah, but he's
Richter.
probably, but that's a German name, so he's American but German. But
yeah, his parents moved there in 1848.
Yeah,
so he was a long ways from Germany. Sorry. Not to be, yeah.
They were one of the talking points that they put out a lot was we're breaking away from what they call Jewish science. Now, I don't necessarily agree that it was, because one, I don't know if you're going to say, well, it's the Jews. What Jews are we talking about here? There's no monolith called the Jews. It doesn't exist. There's people that say they're Jewish, but then when you dig in, it's like, well, what group are you in? What's your specific belief? What's your background? Or are you just saying you're Jewish because you were told to say that by your parents?
So who are these people that they call themselves?
Well, this goes back to Newtonian science in a certain sense, but the Germans believed that it was basically a Jewish conspiracy, was what they put out there, that was holding, that were the ultimate gatekeepers of the nature of reality, because they have been the priest class for civilization since Babylon. That basically this group moves from civilization to civilization to civilization, acts as a parasite class, and also ends up, and over time they infiltrated the temples and took over all the sacred knowledge, captured it, and then compartmentalized it away from institutions as they were built. And he basically blamed the Jews for doing that in Germany. Now, I think there's something to that, but I don't think it's all the Jews per se, because to me, it ultimately does come back to what E.M. Burlingame talks about, these old families in Europe, the British system, and basically the management of empire. You ever seen Apocalypto, the Mel Gibson Maya movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So you remember the scene on the temple where the sun comes overhead and there's an eclipse and they're about to, do a sacrifice and all the people are freaking out. That's what a priest class historically does on its worst day, is basically manipulate population's perception of reality and then refocus their attention and their worship toward the principal or the emperor or the king. The king's up top here. I'm lower than the king, but I'm still the gatekeeper between the sacred knowledge. But I'm also that's a class of people that have been around in every civilization. And it's not just Jews. It's every single civilization has these court eunuch priest class people that just are about self-sustaining themselves and protecting their own pattern of being. They're not interested in the continuance of the state or making things better or whatever. It's all about survival and self-preservation. And you don't have to be a part of a specific bloodline to be like that. Anyone can be like that. So it's just, but there are secret brotherhoods and societies that have been around for thousands of years that I believe have helped maintain that guardianship over ancient knowledge, over, basically collective human memory. I think humans are living with collective amnesia. And that's not my idea. That's a common trope that
they're living with amnesia.
That collectively we have amnesia. We don't know what happened to us. We don't know how we got here.
Well, you think it was because of the fire in Alexander?
I think it was a lot of fires.
Yeah, that what is that big library that burnt? That had all
The
the
Library
world's
of
knowledge.
Alexandria. Well,
yeah.
I think there were a lot of fires. I think there were a lot of book burnings. I think there were a lot of times that the thread to our past was severed through analog materials
and restarted.
Great reset. Yeah. Yep. And with the internet, this is why the internet's so weird, because you have a book burning every day when you log on the internet. Information disappears, reappears, gets reconfigured. The only thing that seems to escape that are people that write and speak, because you can't trick somebody that is focused on being a writer and thinking and being a speaker. You can't just automatically change history while they're watching.
Okay, because they know the history.
And that's why
they are the gatekeeper of history.
And that's also why people are gravitating more toward long form podcasts, in my opinion. They may not think that consciously, but they know that if someone's talking for 3 hours, maybe they have something to say.
And we're not doing 3 hours.
No.
That's
No.
way too long.
No.
But Colin can.
Yeah. But
he's like, not me. But
so
that's an interesting concept that you have to mull over. Is
you have to consider it. I mean, given current events and all this talk of energy and all this new technology that they're trying to kind of bleed out into the human conscious, like you can't just announce this stuff automatically. You need to have you got to kind of backfill your narrative. It's like, well, okay, how did we learn about this and why wasn't this released 80 years ago would be the question. Mm-hmm. So they have to come up with a legend and a narrative. It's like, oh, wow, we just discovered this. When in reality, this has probably been known at even a subconscious level for thousands of years.
But just kept hidden because of quite a few of restarts. Great restarts.
Mm-hmm. Because there seems to be a group of people on this planet that are obsessed with parasitizing life force, or the natural force that emanates from source or God, the natural evolutionary track that humans and all everything should take. There seems to be a group that all they know how to do is steal. They don't know how to create anything. I mean, that's cross religions, cross thought processes. Like the devil can't invent anything. All he can do is make a cheap copy and flip it and make it and act like it's his own, right?
So nothing new is under the sun is an accurate statement.
Correct.
It's already been there, been made, all that kind of stuff. It's just we are detethered from that information.
It's like any of the great inventors. They always say, like the really great ones, they tend to say, I discovered this instead of I invented this. Like,
okay,
that's a totally different statement.
This is a totally different mindset.
Yes.
And they are trying to articulate what they're actually doing versus what people are actually think they're doing.
And if it works, it means that it fits into the cosmology of the world. Like if something works, this is where pragmatism comes in as a philosophy. Something works, that's a tell. Like that's a way you can discern whether or not something's real, is does this work? Now, is it good or bad? That's a different discussion. But if it works, if it does whatever you invented, whatever the device, whatever the idea, if there's a repeatable conclusion that you can basically estimate or predict, you have predictability with it.
Yeah.
That's a hint to how the world works, to how the cosmos works.
Yeah. And
so
we're also think about this way is if you if you have an idea and concept on this, you can send that on our account and stuff like that. Do you agree with this concept, this idea, or have you heard something new? And
leave
share
a
that
comment
with us.
down there. If you know more about this, then
Yeah,
than we
because
do.
this
Definitely
is
give
huge.
us links.
Yeah. And then you can affirm, call in, and what was stated, or maybe take us down to a deeper rabbit hole. Because this is scratching the surface. It'd be really cool if someone actually made a comment, Colin, and they linked in where all this information is, and we can look at it ourselves. It's like, yeah, this is what it is, and this is how it works. But then the government probably have to kill Colin. That's gonna not nice for his family. Because I'm not gonna read it.
No, there's a couple books out there.
Yeah.
And this is where I ultimately found Steiner.
Yeah.
Was searching these questions. So, but I don't want to go down that track unless. Do you guys have anything?
Well,
I just threw that out to the. Go ahead, Cody.
The island where they had that fusion thing. It's on the same is where they had that chateau that they said that they hit Hitler at. Same lake. So
it's very possible.
Could you imagine if this actually comes out and we're able to utilize if it actually works and it's plausible, and we can actually utilize that in the United States and for whatever purposes, and have the cleanest energy. And
well, they've been doing a soft roll of micronuclear reactors. They loaded one. I did an episode when you weren't here, but with me and Cody, and I showed a photo of them loading one up on the back of a C-130.
Yeah.
And it was kind of put out there. It's like, here it is. It's up in there. It's like a whole nuclear reactor's in the back of that plane.
Yeah.
Well, but they've been doing that since the 50s.
Well, yeah, I know.
What
do you think's on the aircraft carriers or the subs,
Well, what was up there? Was it that they put that camp that was underneath the ice up there in Greenland?
Antarctica?
Forget the name of it. No,
there's
Greenland,
a camp up there.
Oh. No, I'm sure they've got these things all over the place. I mean, I know of 2 nuclear reactors underneath the city of Austin that are a part of the UT program. They're not big, but they're little ones, but they're like micro reactors for experimentation or whatever. But that was like a top secret thing that no one knew about until like 10 years ago. That was there throughout the 50s, 60s. I mean, honestly, I don't know how long it's been there, but it's been there for a long time.
And then how did Tesla figure this stuff out with his stuff?
Well, he said he was inspired by the Great Pyramid.
Can you decode that one? Right?
There's a lot of ideas and theories about that, but I think it's becoming more and more accepted that the pyramid was not a
Century. Yeah, it was Camp Century.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean,
knew a
I'm
guy
sure
that actually was a private there.
A what?
Yeah, a private. He was in the military, and he was stationed there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at that camp in Greenland.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's no.
Well, maybe that's how he found out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But
sorry, I had a little problem there.
He that tower he built, that famous tower of his, don't remember where it was. He said that tower specifically he designed based off of the Great Pyramid, and it's like it literally looks like the Seattle Space Needle. Looks like a bunch of buildings that we have out there, just kind of a tower with a dome on top with an antenna.
Up in Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Well, Washington, but his. I forgot where it was. I thought it was
It was up in Colorado Springs.
I thought it was New York, but okay, maybe
he did build one in New York, but the first one was in Colorado Springs.
Okay, all right. One thing he said when he built it is that he had to get his hands around the earth. Like he had to get a grip on the earth to make this work. meaning what most people, what Joseph Farrell thinks he did is basically, instead of, because in a ground wire, like you have a ground wire, but that's actually a part of an electrical circuit. People think that that's just there for safety. It's really, you can't really have an alternating current system without it being grounded to the earth. It actually is a part of its flow cycle that you're tapping into, and like, yeah. So
This one's the
basically
one that was
he
in-
dug very, very deep pylons into the earth with steel for that tower, but like way deeper than was necessary for structural support. Like he went deep.
It was 180 foot tall.
What
How
it looks
deep
like,
did it go?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I mean, it wasn't that deep, but it was like deeper than just a structural pylon. But he basically flipped the circuit. So instead of, this is where the wireless energy idea came from. He basically used the earth as a circuit board.
Do you know who funded this? Have you read this? Do you know who financed it?
I mean, it's the usual suspects. I can't remember.
Morgan?
JP Morgan. Well, yeah. So he got into a huge fight with JP Morgan because, and this is on record, that he was like, well, we can basically have wireless energy for batteries and you just need a capacitor to hook up to it. And then the first thing JP Morgan asks is like, well, we can't do that. Like, we need to, put a meter on this.
And how are we going to make money?
Yeah. Well, you need to have a gatekeeping effect. You can't just have unlimited energy. Like, what do you think these stupid monkeys out here are going to do with unlimited energy?
Their own stupidity.
They lose control of their narrative of whatever tract or plan, or, they're the managers. They're the shepherds. They're the ones that keep society or civilization or humanity in check and aligned or alive. Like in their mind, because they're total godless people, they don't believe in prosperity. They believe in scarcity. They're ruled by fear because they had to do crazy things to get where they were. So
with those pylons put super down deep into the earth, it had to connect with something that I'm trying to figure out what, a rock.
The earth is full of silicate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a thing called piezo-electricity, right? Where if you put so take a quartz crystal, and if you squeeze it really hard, get it warm, and you put it under a I don't know, basically an electrometer or something that can measure energy, like you can see that there's actually like what you would call radiation emanating off of it after it goes through stress, even just gripping in the hand, warming it up, things like that. Now, you use the pressure of the earth and all that silicate compressed, there's a natural energy emanating out of it.
Okay.
Like quartz is basically, in my mind, it's like lightning crystallized. That's not exactly correct, but it to me, that's about as close as you can get. This is but it's nothing special. This is one of the most common minerals you find on the planet. They're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. They're in any scoop, like any time you hit sand, you're getting silicate, you're getting quartz. So there's a lot of energy in the earth itself, that it was its own perpetual stream, but there's also energy in the atmosphere coming in from the from the sun and other systems. So basically he took that circuit and flipped it and took the energy of the earth and then used that to help radiate outward was the idea.
Hmm.
Now, I don't, and I could be totally wrong on that. I'm not 100% convinced on all this, because obviously if it was that simple, you would think someone would do it.
Recreate it, right?
Well, you start getting into that where people are like doing unlimited energy machines or things like that. This has been like in the realm of conspiracy theories, or people die around this subject all the time. There's a huge body count of people that built stuff, like, you know, that guy who made the hydrogen car. I think he died recently or something happened. I don't know. I think Tucker talked about it. I think he had him on or something. I don't know. But I don't know is the question. This is in the realm of I don't know. But if you take this story and you overlap it on current events, it does add a layer that makes things make a little more sense. Because energy at the end of the day is what drives everything.
Yep.
Politics, markets, war, everything. And you may go, well, why is that? Because you need energy to do anything. Duh. So,
well, yeah.
We need energy every day. Yeah, fuel our bodies and stuff, and then we also need to use other energy to move us from one point to another.
have you ever thought about how the Earth was made?
Be more specific.
Like, what was the process of Earth formation? Like, in your mind's eye, I'm not asking for the right answer because none of us know the right answer. I'm just curious if that's something that, because this is something I've asked people and they get very uncomfortable.
How the Earth was made?
Yeah.
Well, that's, what was it here? Theologically, there is the Genesis, where there was the Earth, void without form and stuff. And then you had this short amount of time, 7 days or 6 days, everything was created. And then you had things unearthed during the flood. And so it's like, okay, so when you're talking about how the earth was made before before the creation, the Genesis story, that would be outside of my thought purview, because I'm like, uh, never went there. I've gone to the other places post Genesis, you know.
Sure.
Probably a lot of people have gone post, you know, or you have the Big Bang Theory and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I was very uncomfortable with going here when a friend of mine first approached me with all this, because I was extremely resistant to this idea, because I just was suspicious of anything that wasn't Christian. Because to me, anything good comes from
Dude,
the
did
Christ.
you know that the Warcraft place in New York, actually they got mysteriously caught on fire?
Yeah,
like a couple of years ago.
Burned it down.
Mysteriously burnt it down. Yeah, bizarre.
Yep. And you know who the last guy to hold on record that we know of to hold Tesla's papers and his work was?
It was Trump.
John Trump. So, and the reason why that matters is Trump, and he was close to his uncle, and that's kind of why, like, whenever he talks about his Uncle John, to me, that's like him pointing a gun back at them saying, I know what this is. Don't test me. I have safeguards in place, and I'll spill the beans about all this. Like, I was the nephew of the top MIT professor that
would it be spilling the beans, or would it be utilizing?
Well, I think
technology.
I think he's going to utilize it. I think that's the whole point of this. But how do
Here's
you,
John
let's
Trump.
say that we do have an ability to tap into unlimited energy, and the the hydrocarbon system is actually not the end, or like that's not,
What if it
that there's
skips that?
another tract that we could
Yeah.
go down, and then that cuts off what? Choke points, routes, and resources. And that
Yeah.
changes literally everything. Every single thing you can think of will change if that happens. The dynamics of how people think, the dynamics of religion, the dynamics of government, politics. It's hard to explain how much
Life in general.
everything. There's not a single facet of life that would not be impacted by that change.
Would it be possible that it'd be switching the oil and gas to that, and so that it would flip the world upside down in the sense that those generational wealth off of that would just start collapsing? Just thinking of the Middle East and all the oil that they have, that would collapse them if that came.
So let's say that was the intention in the plan. What you do, like Sun Tzu, what you always do, and any person that's been in a fight, a real fight, knows you give your adversary an out, unless you're willing to kill him or put him in a hospital or totally out of commission, which maybe that's what you do, but it's always best to give them an out, to give them an off ramp so they save face, or they retain some wealth, or they can run off into the Isle of Elba into exile or something. Because if you don't, you're declaring war against every corrupt individual on the planet, because that's how corruption works. They all link together. You got my back, I got your back. I go down, you go down.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're all facing right now. You're
have
dealing with
chosen
systemic corruption
to either walk away to harm these parts of your body, or I will end your life. The decision that is happening within a fight. What is your end point? And so if the end point with this, whatever it is, whoever's running it, whoever has the information is saying, my end point is I am going to totally flip this on its head, and all those who had power, that dissipates within 6 months to a year, and they fall apart, and the new power emerges and arises. That's pretty deep.
Yeah. The neocons, the concept of the neocons. So there's going to be books written about how the neocons were formed and where they come from. Bill Kristol and his father had a lot to do with it, Ukrainians. And it essentially seems to be a system of global hegemony through martial power, and there's not much of a philosophy behind it. It's just, this is why people are like, oh, they're just into war. They just like look at Lindsey Graham, classic neocon. He just likes killing. I just want to kill those Iranians. We're going to kill them. Just
Her. I got something for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Or no, kill the Russians. I just love killing Russians. I love killing the Russians. No, it's.
What I have to say about that one?
No, I agree. No, for the record, the Russians are our biggest ally, in my opinion. Like, as a people group, they are our biggest ally. Well, who's our biggest ally? The British? I hope I've dissuaded you of that by now.
Sorry.
God save the king. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, you distracted. I forgot what I was talking about now.
Colin's gone. He's like, that's too much fun.
I love the soundboard. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I love those things.
So the neocons.
Yeah, that. What if? So the neocons arose out of a movement post World War II. So you got to imagine World War II. What was in the psyche of people was they were in war mode. Like we're going to win at all costs. Like, and just fight, kill, go, go, go. Like you look at how Patton fought and how they generally fought was just they rolling thunder, move, go, fight, get it done. That's Americans. Like everyone makes fun of the French because they're always the first to retreat. In World War I, they were incredibly brave, but they had a culture of war that was, you charge into the breach and you're dishonorable if you don't. Well, they were charging into machine gun fire. They had cavalry charges into machine gun lines, and they just did it over and over and over again. And they were decimated within a couple of months. And then the British had to come in, back them up, draft their people. And then, look, Americans are kind of the same way. We're very gung-ho, right? A lot of nations are like that. So that neocon impulse of charging into the breach, taking the fight to the enemy, making you feel powerful is what scared people want to hear when they hear of a threat that's outside of them. So I'm saying from a psychological warfare tactic, just being aggressive is actually a useful tactic to split a population, because you start getting people that are like, no, I'm not no sissy. Let's go fight those commies. Let's go fight those terrorists. And, and the question is like, well, what's terrorist? It's like, are you a terrorist? Are you a commie? And the neocon movement taps into that base psychosis that humans have. So I don't think it's a real ideology other than that it's a power structure that has an aim and goal. And to me, it was that we are the attack dogs for what the remains of the British Empire. British, Dutch, Euro-centric, old family
Did he
empire.
say Dutch?
Yes.
He said Dutch.
Awesome.
And that's what we've been. We've been this stupid attack dogs. We're a young country. We're 250 years old. The population we do not understand the machinations of these people. Like J.D. Vance was in Hungary today, and they are celebrating their 1,025th year as a nation.
Yeah.
We're babies. We have no idea what monsters we're messing with. So I think they took advantage of the raw power and resources and everything that America had, and then reutilized it to be the enforcement arm of the empire. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. The neocons are the guardians of that mentality, and they're Democrats and Republicans. It's not a party. It's just it's
philosophy.
It's the Praetorians of the empire, the guardians of the empire.
Do you know what gung-ho means? Have you ever looked that up?
And they have no idea what they're a part of, in my opinion. Maybe a couple of them do.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them, I mean, you've met enough politicians. Do you think they really are deep thinkers?
That's a very
it's
good
not that
question.
They're not
Some of them
stupid. They're smart, but smart in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're very in the moment. They can kind of maneuver and weave and duck, and they're good boxers. They're not good strategy. Like they're not good in long-term warfare. Because they don't need to be.
They have other people behind them to do that.
Right. Yeah, and they just rely on that, and they just trust the system, and because they don't have time to do anything else. They got to win.
Yep. They got to push their push their purview, to get everyone else on the same.
Yep.
Yep.
So I don't want to keep ranting here. Cody, I'm sorry.
Cody is like, you know what gun ho,
Sorry.
where that comes from? And Cody doesn't remember. Do you?
I do.
Okay. You want to explain that?
Was it in World War II? Japanese
It's
or something?
Chinese for work together.
Oh, okay.
Well, we need more of that. A whole
But
lot
it's
more
also
of
a very good Michael Keaton movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that one. Gung
When
Ho?
when he convinces the Japanese to come over and take over the American auto plant, and they come in and redo it.
Oh, that's funny.
You've never seen that?
Was that in the 80s that he made that?
Yeah, 86.
That's so funny. People forget about the Japanese craze. Like, people were scared stiffly. Like, they were terrified of the Japanese as a business institution. And then we invented the yen carry trade. And that ended that. And that just ended a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
That basically we were funneling all our international, like anyone that was smart that knew about this, which was all nation states and, major capital firms, you would funnel all your money through Japan. This is my understanding. I could be wrong. Please correct me, Corey, if you know about this, but that they were basically, they were buying yen
Hold on.
at 0%. And then they use that to transfer into other currencies, and basically the yen sucked up all the inflation.
Yep,
this is a great movie.
That's what I remember from it.
Can you hear this? I set this up right.
Yeah,
and then they would make money on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Mrs. Broniak, this face is on the case.
Hun Stevenson invited the Japanese.
My dad was over here with the army, and I guess it was 1940. Hey, did you decorate this place yourself?
To put his town back to work.
Welcome to your first day with the Sun Motors.
Now, everything is on his shoulder.
Yeah, this is a great movie, man. Have you ever get to see it? I love this movie.
I saw that. But yet,
do it our way.
I thought it handled great.
And it's all in the hands of Ron Howard, the director of Splash and Cocoon.
This is great.
What could possibly go wrong?
Good question. Let's go find out. We must be a team.
In Japan, our goal is a 0% of defense. How'd you slip by?
Everyone's thinking only of company.
See, we have our own way of making cars.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got to watch this. This is a great
gotta
movie.
watch that. I'm very interested now. Yeah, I remember this actually. I think I watched this with my dad a long time ago.
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes? I've heard a lot of talk about.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't see it. I'm not impressed.
You're fired.
He's coming!
I can't stand it anymore.
Safety glass.
You failed.
They're closing down the factory and going back to Japan.
I'm calling all the guys, and we're coming over to get you.
Oh, drown yourself.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Don't
You
stop
gotta
playing so much of it. Yeah,
I have to stop.
People need to watch it. Sit down and.
I would love another chance. I know we could do better.
Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we
He basically showed the whole best parts of the whole movie.
Paramount Pictures presents.
I came to tell you you were
This
great.
is the trailer. What do you
I was
want me
really
to do?
proud of you.
Michael Keaton
Whoa, yikes. Whoops. Whoa.
in a Ron Howard production.
Is it just me, or you hate the way your shorts feel when they get wet?
I actually kind of like it.
Really?
Gung Ho.
That's all, folks.
Dude, it's a great movie. Sorry to bring that up.
No, I'm
Random.
gonna watch that. No, you sold me. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch that. I'm very interested in the Japanese. I think there is something simmering under the Japanese civilization that I think don't sleep on them. I feel like if anyone's capable of playing a long game, it's the Chinese and the Japanese.
Smart people. Very intelligent.
I'm very, and I think that yen carry trade, when that started, post-Marshall Plan. I think that was part of terms of surrender. We're going to bleed out our inflation on your country until we say you've had enough. Well, that just ended like a couple months ago. World War II with Japan just ended a couple months ago.
Yeah. And they celebrated
no one knows
in their parliament.
It's unbelievable. It's really, it's so weird being, it's not even ahead of the curve. It's like anyone could understand this if they paid attention long enough. You don't have to be that smart. Like, you just have to educate yourself about a few things. But I don't, anyway, but yeah, the Japanese are, I feel like they've, I don't know, this goes into the pole shift thing. Have you ever seen the mythology of Japan going underwater?
No, never heard of that one.
Okay. There's a lot of, in their anime and their pop media, of Japan being submerged. Have you heard of the pole shift theory?
Yes. Yes, I've heard of it.
What do you make of it, Cody? What's your impression?
Well, I've heard about it for like 25 years, 25, 30 years, where they've been talking about.
No, it's old.
You can see that they go into the layers of the dirt, and you can see like the magnetic field changes through time and and just like when they go and
basically
look at,
there was
dinosaurs.
A flash event where in the strata that something big happened almost all across the earth.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about
now?
No,
the
but
flood.
I remember when I was out in California, they were doing forget what we were doing, but you could like literally get a magnet and go through and see the shifting of something about the magnetic field. You could show it shifted by going through the different layers of the earth and stuff. That was the first time I ever heard about it.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought of that. They take a magnet sensor and they can tell
which way the poles were aligned by looking at the soil samples.
By just going off of the ferrous metals?
That the way
and just the concentration. That's genius. I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's the first time
tell.
That's the first time I'd ever heard of it. And now they're
it's all over the place now. Everyone's like, it's kind of a well-known thing on the internet and it's a theory of why the elites are acting so crazy right now. It's almost as if they know something's coming. Like, you don't pull UFOs out of your ass, like, if you're not nervous about something. I mean, if they don't have to tell us about UFOs or aliens, let's say that's happened. But you got, who's the Secretary of State? Marco Rubio. You just do that interview he did. He's like, yeah, we shot down 3 UFOs this last week, and we don't know what 4 of them. We know what 1 is. We don't know what the 3 are. They're not from Earth. He flat out said that. J.D. Vance on another interview a few weeks ago said, yeah, we think they're interdimensional demons. So this is what scares me a little bit, is that no one really talks about it. You just had the vice president. It doesn't matter if they're lying or not.
You just got bites out there.
Well, this has been going on for years now.
Yeah.
I said 5 years ago, keep like on I did Facebook updates. I'm like, I tried to like lead people down the rabbit trail of here's what I think's coming next. Here's this.
You know what rabbit trails lead to? Rabbit holes.
And
sorry.
And
I'm just having an ADD moment.
No, it's fine. You gotta get it in there. I just got so much, like, especially like, I don't know, my family were just getting annoyed by it because they're like, how do you like, and everything I said pretty much turned out to be right. It was just a year or two in advance of what was happening. And like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, keep your eyes on the skies. They're bringing it in. And it's like, you see it all over UFO. And I'm not saying they're real. That's not the point. The point is that that's the grand narrative they're going with. Why? Just fear? Well, they better be damn sure they know what they're doing, because if they lose our trust with this UFO con, which they will, but this is like a last gasp of desperation. You can't just go out there and try to reshape everyone's cosmology. Like Peter Thiel is having interview, like he's doing a whole lecture series on the Antichrist. Peter Thiel.
Trying to remember who that person is.
He started oh my goodness. What's the software?
PayPal.
Wasn't he part of?
He was a part of PayPal Mafia. No, it's that stone in Lord of the Rings that you can see everything. It's the name of the company. Anyway, it's
Oracle.
No, that's Google. Planetary. No, it's Palantir.
Yeah, right there.
Palantir. Yeah, Palantir. And that's like it's just mass aggregation data software for targeting, as best as I can tell. But with these kind of tools, you can use it in so many ways. But the U.S. government uses him and uses that. It's like, it's really funny. Like, you saw the liberals freak out. It's like Trump brought in the AI Palantir guys, and I'm like, have you not known that Google has been inside and Amazon? Like, what about them? Like, they're way bigger than Palantir. Like, yeah, Palantir's a problem, but it's like Google and Amazon are everywhere that you guys can't even see that. You're just mad at Palantir because he's ostensibly a right winger, which I don't think he is. I think he's a freaking psychopath like the rest of them. But
and he did a closed series on the Antichrist in Rome.
Yes, correct. In Rome. Yep. Now, a part of it seems to be that they are trying to suss out what the Christian mind or collective conscience is going to do when they encounter hyperintelligence, or what they see as hyperintelligence, because they're basically going to say, hey, this is God, but that's not going to work with Christians. So a part of it is this UFO thing may be, let's give them a threat. Oh, there's interdimensional demons coming in because we're about to go up to Valhalla or heaven, and they're trying to stop us or whatever. I don't know. This is a theory I have. I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is just something that just in my gut, I'm like, if I was a sick psychopath that wanted to control people, the world with multiple religions, I would do something like this. That have a threat come in from outside, scare the crap out of everyone, have flying lights going on everywhere, flood social media with it, get heads of state talking about it. And then that's the ultimate threat vector to unify a system. It's that or asteroids.
Yeah. And what would that system look like, act like, and feel like? And who would be pulling that system?
I mean, what they're trying to sell is Star Trek. Like, that's the sell. They want you to think like, oh, a unified world would look like Star Trek. We're peaceful explorers in search of science. Okay. Where are your crystals? Where are your gold? You know. But
beam it up, Scotty.
I'm not convinced, though, that I don't believe that humans are able to live off planet as we are currently evolved. I just don't think we can do it long term. I think we can do it for a time, but I don't think this idea of us going to Mars, it's not going to work.
Oh,
You're
why
not going to
not?
live on the moon. We can't. I mean, do you look at the altitude the International Space Station is? It's very low orbit, and those people are screwed up when they come back.
I know that one guy ran for Congress from Arizona.
Is Mark Kelly Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a senator, so.
So was his wife, but she got shot in the head, so.
Oh, yeah.
No way, really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who his wife is?
I didn't know that. Wow.
Was that 5-6 years ago?
No, it was longer than that.
Mark Kelly's wife got shot in the head?
I forget what her...
Senator Mark Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I mean...
There's been a lot of sci-fi movies that have talked about the people that lived on different planets and how their structure of their body changes. And I always thought, was that accurate or not accurate? Because it was kind of an interesting concept that they were pushing.
Well, this really does go into Steiner's work, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but I know it's getting late. But the Earth was built for humans to emerge out of. That we're one with the Earth. We're one with this. I know that sounds hippy dippy. Just bear with me.
Okay.
Not you guys, but just anyone that may be listening. But that wouldn't it make sense that if God
Gabby
gave
Gifford
us,
is his wife.
was right? Is she alive?
Is. Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
She survived it. She was in a mall parking lot. You didn't know who that Gabby Gifford?
I never heard of that. No, that's amazing.
She got shot. She was he took her seat.
What?
Yeah, he did.
How is this not talked about? Okay, well, I guess I know why politically you wouldn't talk about it. It's like, they're attacking my wife. She was shot. Like,
Oh, he used that. He used that hard
I'm
for
sure.
his campaign and stuff.
Ugh.
Or hold on, I'll show you.
When you
So
get into the initiation of NASA, there's a lot of occult stuff. A lot. It's unavoidable. Like when you really get into it, it's right there. Go ahead. Sorry, Corey, what were you saying?
Well, won't
but
let me
we are
do it.
connected with that, with the Earth. And
Yeah.
so leaving Earth would have consequences.
Yeah. We're not supposed, if we're going to remain Earthlings or humans, we got to stay here. Now, maybe consciousness and life is so dynamic and powerful that you could force a certain breed, or humans can do amazing things. As soon as we set our mind to something, it seems that we can make it. That's like our imagination seems to be the limitation of what we can do.
Because our
Well, the thing
bodies
that-
do adapt to our environment over time.
And this is also where they have this idea of, have you ever seen the Wall Street article, The End of Humanity?
No.
I'll pull that up, but a part of what, Elon says that I want to colonize Mars to expand consciousness throughout the universe. That's kind of his statement. It's like, okay. That's a pretty arrogant thing to say, to assume that, consciousness was, because the implication is consciousness was an accident and it's our job to safeguard it and propagate it.
Mm.
That is not in any way, shape, or form a Christian ideology, anything that puts God at the center. That puts man at the center of the cosmos. Which, the thing with Luciferianism is that they tend to get it mostly right, but then they miss half the story. That, yes, we are as gods. Christ said that. Do ye not know that ye are gods? Now, does that mean we are the divine source? No. But maybe we're portals. Maybe we are the portal.
We have that divine source within us because we can always recognize when the divine source is around.
And for whatever reason, we can tap into whatever source we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a derivative, we can say that's source or that's God, even though even the devil is an offshoot of God's divine will.
Mm-hmm.
In Steiner's cosmology, he would say that evil is there to make good stronger. It's the friction point that we rub up against to cause the reaction for the next step in this physical domain. For the spirit to enter in, for the spiritual world to enter in and manifest. And the war is what will be the operating system of this realm, is one of the ideas. Now, obviously, we know what's going to win. It's going to be source or God. But that doesn't mean you're going to go, the way that certain spiritual people talk about it, they say it's basically a delusion of the devil itself, that they are deluded. They have deluded themselves or discorded, that they believe their own lies.
Mm-hmm.
So they bought their own, they've drank the Kool-Aid, basically.
Just kind of how Lucifer did to the angels. He got them to drink their own source, to say.
Yeah, God gave us all this power and eminence and domain and dominion over all these things. Let's go forth and multiply and let's make our own deal.
Yeah.
You ever read the Silmarillion? It's that proto book of Lord of the Rings that Tolkien didn't publish, but his son did. And it was basically it's on YouTube. You should listen to it, but it's basically the cosmology of the Lord of the Rings.
And send me that. I'll be interested in that.
Yeah, it's very good, and it basically starts with the song. It's like he goes through the different angelic hierarchies of ultimate source and how they descend into density. And like people think in terms of dimensions, I would suggest maybe we think in terms of densities, not dimensions. Like, because in the dimension, you think it's like a room separate from you. No, you're in the same room. It's just we're denser than the beings above us, what we call above us. But really, they're everywhere. They're a part of us. They're in us, out of, and that's a part of what I think Christ was sent here to do, was to basically wake us up and remind you, you are in this, you're a part of this whole system. You're not only a part of it, you are X marks the spot. You're the battlefield.
Yeah.
And we love you and we care about you. And we're here to let you know that, that's a part of, I think it was more of a reminder for humanity to help us wake up and remember that. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I feel, when I think about it in that terms, I feel very peaceful in that regard, because that feels very loving to me.
Okay. Yeah.
But eternal life through advanced technology seems like a pipe dream for society that until recently had trouble manufacturing enough masks to save doctors and nurses, yet COVID-19 may turn out to be just the kind of crisis needed to turbocharge efforts to create what is called a transhuman future. With our biological fragility more obvious than ever, many people will be ready to embrace the message of the Transhumanist Declaration, an 8-point program first issued in 1998, we envisioning the possibility of broadening human potential by overcoming aging. So if you're paying attention to this, you're going to hear all kinds of elites obsess and talk about. They are up.
Oh, no, he fell
And
out.
gone. He pulled the Cody and disappeared. That's funny.
We're having internet trouble tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm next. Yep. I'm next.
I
Yeah.
can't believe he hadn't heard about
My
Gabby
bad.
Gifford.
No, I never heard of her. But the point is that if you're paying attention for this, these guys talk about this all the time. Epstein was obsessed with this. All the elites, they talk about. Jared Kushner was talking about. He's like, we'll be the last generation to die. He said that in interview. Klaus Schwab said that in front of a body of students. He's like, you will be the first to survive past the year 200, the year 200 or whatever. Like, these people really believe this.
So
was
it's going to
great.
be a modification of our human body or the actually cognitive.
This article describes that basically they're thinking about uploading our consciousness to machines.
Yeah.
Now, you might have seen those AI examples of people that were killed and then they come back and, you can talk to grandma, you can talk to your whatever, and they scoop up all the data from their lived experience on the internet and then put it back together as a personality that you can talk to.
Yeah.
That's
rolls
here now. Like,
there was a show on that one.
Black Mirror.
Might have been that too.
They definitely did that, but
it was
it's an
built
old
off of a game.
Oh, Ready Player One.
No. Oh, that one too. Oh man, I was just.
It's an old idea because if you think of the human as a machine, you would naturally be like, well, just upload the memory. Just, no big deal. Then you can live forever. But
And let me show you this real quick while I'm thinking about it, so you can see what happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, not at all. I'm done for tonight. Honestly, like I've gone.
So the Tucson shooting in 2011, Gabby Gifford and 18 others were shot. So she was, got shot, and that's when they started. That was her anti-gun Glock thing they were doing. Yeah, this guy was infatuated with her. Tried to shoot, and if he couldn't have her, no one could, kind of thing. Yeah.
Has anyone done a deep dive on his name?
Yeah, here. Can you hear this?
No.
Fallout. That was the name of the TV show.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
Based on the video
Fallout.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically.
A lot of TV shows and stuff like that were having those consciousness move from the human form into some kind of a tech, some kind of a robot, and be able to.
Did you see that? What was that Netflix series that did that kind of stuff? That was pretty interesting.
No. Which one was that?
It was Black Mirror, I'm pretty sure.
Black Mirror.
But yeah, no, that it's a common trope that is being pre-positioned. But if you think about it in the cosmology of modern man, of what most people subconsciously think about where we come from, they don't think of their bodies as divine vessels. It's a machine. Even Christians think, when you really talk to them, they think of their body as a machine. That's the way we conceptualize it, which is understandable,
Mm-hmm.
But when you start getting into the how and why this all works, It stops making sense very quickly. How is our conscious experience driving my hands to do this right now? It's there's something else going on here. It makes more sense. And in current technology, you kind of see this, that we're getting less latency with our speed of uploads and internet transfers by having mesh networking going on. Basically, instead of having a constant RAM drive, you're sharing everything in live time, and then it wipes it in live time. So it's all about just having enough energy input, and then you can just basically have theoretically unlimited latent memory. Like, given enough energy, you can do. I mean, but humans do it all on our own with our little cold fusion reactor right here.
Yeah.
That seems to emanate a frequency that's the same as the Earth's, that seems to emanate from the star we call the sun, and ties it all in together. So I'm going to take my bet that we're one with the Earth and we're supposed to be here. And this whole spaceman thing is this idea of running away from our karma, from our destiny, from what we're supposed to do as humans. And
what
rebuild,
is that? What's our destiny as humans then?
Become angels. According to Steiner's cosmology. And I agree with that. I think that makes sense. That basically we're to...
Which untethers humanity from this earth. If you become an angel, then you're able to be untethered and be able to be anywhere.
It untethers you from your very ego, from the character you've developed. This is why people that start taking psilocybin or, certain hallucinogens, they stop being afraid of death. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying it's a signal, because what do those effects do? They disassociate you from your egoic self. And you become more comfortable with the idea that you may dissolve or not exist in the way you think you do. These people are terrified of not existing.
Yep.
But if your cosmology is that we are one with the cosmos and God, and we're all here because of God's grace, and we want to act in service to our Creator, that's a different mindset. We're not afraid of death like they are.
It's just a curtain being pulled aside as you move into that next
and we go
realm,
back. We go home, give Daddy a hug.
Yeah.
Hopefully he pats us on the head, says we did a good job.
Or the other. Get away from me, you evildoer. I never knew you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to send you back in. You need another round. Like, oh, man. Like,
the ultimate punishment.
I got to say, I don't believe in hell in the way that the Catholics have taught Christians to think of it, that it's an eternal place forever. I don't, because once you realize what the ego is and the soul of an individual, we're not that special relative to each other. We're just different beings talking from different memory complexes. But at our core, when the child is born, they're the child.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back
I do
to
believe
that.
there's generational like knowledge, like it gets passed down through genetic knowledge. So I could get behind that.
I think there's lived hell. I think hell is here on earth if you manifest it.
Or someone else manifests it into your life.
Absolutely, that can happen. And I think that's where a lot of possession can come from, especially because most possessions that I've seen or heard of are young people. It tends to be under the age of 30. Based on what I've seen. I don't know.
Okay.
But, or heard from Well, I don't know. Anyway, I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I'm not an exorcist, so
Yeah.
I have no idea. But
Yeah.
you're the
For me,
closest thing
it's
to an exorcist. What do you think of that? So
for me, it's anybody. The age doesn't matter. If it can be used, yeah, it can be possessed for whatever purposes and reasons that those that want to possess them, it can be used.
well, I think
So
anyone can be.
elderly,
Go ahead. Sorry.
elderly, all the way down to, I think babies. Yeah, I think there's a cutoff to an age that you're too young.
I think demons want some willpower. Babies, I don't think, have the ability for will in a focused, narrow sense. It's more of a broad cast net of input, output. I want to eat, I'm sad, this, that, or another. It's the demons seem to need context.
Yeah, it's not evolved. Hasn't lived long enough to be conscious and aware.
Don't you think they need to retell their own story? It's almost like they're living out their karma. Like, I'm speaking of the demons.
Mm-hmm.
That they're almost like impulses that haven't lived out their karma sufficiently enough, and they have to inhabit another human to live it out. Is there something to that?
It might.
I don't know.
And it's kind of hard to really, unless you sit down and have that conversation with a demon and say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
That's what Steiner, not in Steiner, but a bunch of people that deal with demons, they said the best thing you can do if you feel like you got a demon on your ass is sit down and have a talk with them, and then laugh in their face and give them a big hug. They hate that.
I haven't heard that one before.
They hate it.
Yeah,
that's like the last thing they want, because their whole power comes from you being afraid of them.
Yeah. Rebuking them and tying them to the pit of hell, that works too. That means that they have less control over.
Yeah, but they're still like, well, what if they break from their chains of hell? You know, they can always come back. I mean, we just look around, they're kind of everywhere, you know.
Oh, yeah.
The Catholic Church just gave the rights of exorcism a few years ago to every parish. That before, there were 4 exorcists in North America in the 80s and 90s. Now every single parish has been given the rights of exorcism. I'm not saying I believe that this actually works. That's not the point. They're basically saying all of you guys can now do public exorcisms because it's that bad. It was like a deep secret that no one talked about in the 80s and 90s. That's where the Exorcist movie came out of. Was there were some public disclosures about it and police reports filed, and that movie came out of it. And one of the guys I listened to was basically the understudy of the guy that was the top exorcist that ran that thing. I've never seen the movie. I never will. I don't want to. It's not. I'm not into that stuff.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I can understand that.
But
I've never understood the obsession with that stuff.
No, but
Constantine talks. That movie Constantine talks about that. Ever seen that one?
I haven't seen all of it. I've seen bits of it, but there are some patterns in that I would give some credence to. That I'm like, that's pretty good. It's a bit gratuitous and it's Hollywood, but it's not bad. Have you seen The Devil's Advocate?
That is a crazy movie.
That's insane.
Charlize Theron was pretty hot in that movie.
Yeah, sorry about don't watch it if but the nudity is like very disturbing. No, so it's not even about
I wasn't talking about the nudity.
The main point of the movie that I got was the demon, the devil, Satan says, or the protagonist goes, "Why are you a lawyer? What's the whole point of being a lawyer?" And he's like, "That's where we control everything. It's the laws." And I was like, and that's pure Steiner too. Not Steiner, but that's like what he says, that demons in the modern age manifest in the laws. Because if you can force somebody to do something they know is wrong, but it's in the law, you've hijacked their will completely. Like, you have now conquered violence. You can now actually use other agents of the system as agents of violence against that person if they disobey your will. And I think that's very, whether or not he was right about that, I think it's worth thinking about in today's day and age.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So,
well,
but the devil's advocate
we're towards the end of 2 hours, and we're down to the terrifying devil's advocate and exorcism, people getting demon possessed.
Yeah, we went down some rabbit holes, man.
Yeah. And with that, if you've had a interaction or story or stuff like that on that, send that. I'll hold on to mine. Yeah.
Awesome.
I've heard a lot of different stories on those. Yeah. But
yeah, I kind of wish we had more time. I'd like to hear some of those sometime. Maybe you can think about it and have some interesting stories about evil, Corey.
Well, see, what we got to understand right now
is
window. It's Corey has
for real.
Corey has to shut this down because he's leaving on vacation at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, God bless you. No, I'm not saying now. I'm saying next time.
Yeah.
No, but he has to go, and that's like what? 5 hours
I hear he
now?
has to go. We're leaving now.
No, what I'm saying is, he's just doing this because he's going to race and he needs to take pictures because he's owner of a production company.
Okay. Colin, it's like, I don't get you, Colin.
No,
I don't know what's going on.
Neither do I.
There you go. You really need to get a soundboard, dude.
No.
But anyways,
we're just looking forward to the end of humanity.
All right. There you go.
Go ahead.
End of humanity.
Go ahead. Sign off.
Well, if you've gotten this far, thanks for being with us, and thanks for listening, and thanks for the comments that you're going to be putting. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and also comment, and then also Patreon. Make sure you get onto that and become a member and join that. It'd be great. And then we have still working on 5 more. So that
we just need a few more subscribers, and we're going to give away a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yep. And so still looking forward to that. And we look forward to going down another rabbit hole in next week sometime?
Yeah, well, we're going to need to get some reports on what you, how you like being a crew member on that race team that you're going to go help out.
Yeah. The guy, neighbor said, hey, I need someone to help us with this drag strip racing at Enos in Dallas, Texas. And so I was like, yeah, this is way before anything else popped up, going to become a state rep and all that kind of stuff. And so I try to as much as possible, I honor my my word. So taking off at 4:00 tomorrow, 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow, and headed out to Dallas for this.
Have breakfast at Buc-ee's, aren't you?
Oh yeah, that's already been configured. And then we're gonna get the whole pass for people that take pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Media pass.
And so we're gonna be doing some stuff out there. So it's gonna be be my first time. It's gonna be cool. Yet I've been in Dallas a bunch of times. Used to live in Texas, so my beard's gonna love it. Since I don't have any hair on the top of my head, don't have to worry about that. Yeah, definitely hot and humid.
Well, Colin, it's been fun with the conversation tonight, so I appreciate that.
I hope so. I have no idea what I just said, so.
I don't either, but it's okay.
But people comment on that.
Help me ground, folks. I need some comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me some
if you guys
engagement.
have any, if you guys want to engage and let us do it, there's a link in the bottom for you to talk to us. We're always open for constructive, rabbit hole looking. So
yeah. Or if there's people that you said that you think that we should have on, let's do it. And then
I'm sure we need to get some of your
crystallize.
We need to get some of your politician friends on and interview them. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, they'll love this.
Yeah. I like that.
So, all right, guys, thanks for coming to the rabbit hole tonight. We appreciate it. And if we'd like to give away a shirt, so go ahead and look at that Patreon. We appreciate it. So, all right, there we go, guys. Thank you.